Today, I'll be talking about selecting effective product claims in consumer products, FMCG/CPG. In this webinar, we'll go through several topics. First, we'll talk about what are claims and the types of claims. Second, we'll discuss how to craft claims both for research tests and for marketing. Third, we'll spend some time looking at different testing methods. Since 2016, our team has completed hundreds of claim studies, and in some of these studies, we focus on testing claims alone, while in some other studies, we test claims alongside other product features such as pack formats, logos, pricing, and other attributes. Conjointly has used these projects as learnings to build agile testing methods to fit all these research needs. So what is a claim? A claim is an assertion about a product that can be made across various channels, such as advertising, digital campaigns, promotion, and on the pack itself. A claim is not a visual identity, it's not a logo, not about pricing or the consumers. It is about what you say about the product. In this slide, you will see the types of claims that we have identified across different industries. We can generally categorize them into benefits, reasons to believe, targeting, and other claims. Claims communicating benefits can be phrased through several communication angles, such as highlighting features of the product. It could be through emphasizing functional or emotional benefits that would result from consuming the product, or about the effect of the product on society, such as sustainability. Reasons to believe are claims that helps justify the value of a product. Some examples are where it's from, how it's made, what's inside, certification, as well as the expertise of the producer. There are also claims that are targeted towards specific occasion or individual, categorized as targeting here. Over the past couple of years, we have identified several things to note when it comes to crafting claims for research or testing purposes, and ultimately for marketing and other communications channel. Generally in research, we see that longer claims or claims with more characters and words regardless of language tend to perform a little better. The chart on the right-hand side plots consumers' indicative willingness to pay for claims in the vertical axis against the length of claim in characters in the horizontal axis. From this chart, we can generally see a mild correlation between the length of claims and consumers' willingness to pay for them. However, longer claims may be costly or harder to communicate, as they would take more space in the pack, they need more time in the ads, and it could be a problem. So our suggestion for testing claims is that it would be best to keep claims at consistent length, maybe up to longer or shorter by 1/4 than each other. This slide talks about substituting the language on claims for less pushy statements. Softening claims is about changing the language in such a way that the original reference to a valued factor is preserved, but without promise of full commitment to it. So for example, instead of saying things like 100% naturally sourced coffee beans, you can say made with naturally sourced coffee beans. Instead of saying that it exceeds a particular standard, you can say that it is consistent with a particular standard. So what we observe with softened claims is that it can retain a lot of the appeal of the original claim and sometimes can also perform a little better. On the right-hand side, you can see a disguised example of a claim study that replicates this effect. Next is neologisms. So neologisms are newly created words. Now, across various industries, we observe that claims containing neologisms perform relatively well when they are used in moderation. On the right-hand side of the slide, I've listed some disguised examples of claims containing neologisms from various industries. Neologisms are commonly used to highlight a specific process unique to the brand and or to communicate expertise. There are many types of claims such as reasons to believe, benefits, and others, all of which plays a different role in convincing consumers to buy the product. For example, composition claims are often used to provide reassurance, while naturality claims are used to differentiate a product from competition. There is usually no trade-off between showing a composition claim and a benefit claim on a product, as both of them can be placed on the pack. So our suggestion in this case is to either have separate tests for different types of claim, or to put claims into separate attributes if it's a conjoint study. When you have a large number of claims, it is usually a good practice to break the study into two parts, where in the first part, you can use a methodology such as conjointly claims test to help you sift through a large number of claims. And then in the second part of the study, you can use the winning claims from the first part and test them against competition for more robust results. When you're working on a project that involves multiple languages, it is important to send your claims for translation a little earlier and then send it to your local team and other stakeholders for reviewing. The reason here is that the language for claims can be very specific, and it is important to make sure that the intended meaning of the claim is retained before launching the study. From what we see in many claims tests, there are cases where claims test gives you results that are different from your expectations. It is often caused by having claims that are too similar or when the target audience is too broad. When claims are very similar, for example, looking at gently blended versus gentle mixture, it is very likely that preferences will not be too different between them. In such cases, diagnostic questions such as naturality would play a pivotal role in deciding which claim would best fit your objectives. It is also important to ensure the relevance of claims for consumers, because when the sample is too broad, results may not be too accurate for interpretation. If you're testing claims that would be relevant for a specific occasion or persons, then results should also be analyzed by that segment. In the next part of the presentation, I'll be discussing some of the things to note when you're planning your claims test. The first thing is, how should you show the claims? So if you're looking to test singular claims, then perhaps it should be shown as a singular claim. However, if you're looking to test multiple topics or to find the optimal combination of claims, then claims from different topics should be shown together. Usually in the test, you would want to combine a number of different response types. For the main measure, we would recommend to go for the choice-based approach over MaxDiff, because typically we want to know what sells rather than what does not sell. And then to supplement the main measure, you can add association, Likert scale, open-ended questions to help you understand why certain claims perform well, but then they should not be used as the main measure, especially when claims are very similar. Next is whether you should include competition in the test or not. So if you're looking to test an existing product and you decided to not include competition, we would recommend to show the claims in a branded context. In this case, you can also include competition claims, which would serve as an indicative benchmark. Including competition in a test could answer questions such as, does this claim perform better than the competition? Or if it could take share from competition. Theoretically, it is always better to include competition, but for results to be robust enough, you would need higher sample size and therefore higher cost of research. In most cases, you can decide to not include competition due to this, but for some cases like a pricing study, or when the language of a claim is pitched against certain traits of your competition, then you should always include competition. Here is a cheat sheet that helps you decide on what methods would be the most appropriate for your use case. If you're looking to test singular claims, then you could use the claims test. If you want to test strict combination, say if you want one composition claim, one benefit claim, and one sourcing claim to appear in an alternative, then you would use the generic or brand-specific conjoint, and depending on the context, whether if it's in a competitive context or not. If you want to test complex combinations from a list of 30+ claims with specific prohibitions, then it would be a claims combination test, which is available as a custom project. Now, I will look forward to your questions.